Welcome to Sung's Garage. This is more than just a place to work on cars. This is a place where I'm able to connect with people, swap stories, and share them with the world. And today, we have another What to Watch episode where me and the guys from Sung's Garage talk about all things entertainment. But in this episode, we discuss the anti-Asian xenophobia that resulted from the pandemic.
It's also like empowering kind of these people to come out of the woodwork to be, to justify their racism, and their prejudice. Then that's just the climate now.
And as always, we have a lot of fun discussions, like our favorite fast food we miss. Burger King, you guys, they coined the phrase "have it your way."
Yeah, exactly, Song.
And what 80s or 90s movie we would remake and who would star in them today. So I hope you enjoy. All right, y'all be good. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Sung's Garage. This is our attempt at an opening credit special effects. All right. We're still on the coronavirus lockdown. Hopefully all this stuff is over soon and we can get back on our way and get back to work. I'm getting a little frustrated and I feel like a little claustrophobic these days, but we're all in the same situation, so we're trying to stay as positive as possible. And speaking of positive, we got the boys back together, blogging about what to watch. So here's another episode of What to Watch. Let's get to it. Let's start with some introductions. Racer M, tell us where you're at, what you're dealing with. Are you ready for things to get back to normal?
Well, I'm still in Alhambra. I'm definitely waiting for things to get to normal here. My background is from Street Fighter 2. And,
nice.
Yeah. That's about it for me.
India. Right?
Awesome, baby.
Yeah.
Flame.
That's nice. I used to go to, in 8th grade, there was one video store in Gainesville, Georgia, where I'm from, and they had Street Fighter. And I used to go in there and dominate the town in Street Fighter. Yeah. I love that arcade game.
Who did you play as?
Yeah, I never get a chance to play it because everyone's playing it.
Ryu.
Oh, sick.
It's a solid
choice.
I'm always Chung Li. I love Chung Li.
I loved Vega because I liked how you could lose his claw mid-match. I always thought that was cool.
Why do you love Chung Li? I love her too.
Who did it?
Yeah. I wish there was a VR version of a prequel to Chun Li's origin to get to know her.
Oh.
Because what's her story? I don't know her backstory. Is she...
Actually, there's a movie. If you want to watch the worst movie ever made.
There's a Chun Li movie?
Yeah.
Legend of Chung Li.
Kristen Kruk, right?
Oh.
Yeah, Kristen Kruk. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Oh, no good.
Yep.
No
good.
Don't forget Chris Klein. Chris Klein was in that.
Chris Klein is the best part of that film.
Is he?
Klein.
Yep.
And you'll know why. This is not a recommendation.
Wait. Neil McDonough is in it too.
Neil McDonough is in it too. Yeah,
who's Neil McDonough? Who is that?
Do it.
Who's Neil McDonough?
Klein is the treasure of that film.
Cory, where you at? How you doing? You ready for this to be over?
Yeah, things are getting a little harder, it seems. Like claustrophobia. I think people are getting a little chippy with their family members at home. And people, and it's hard because you go out and you can't talk to anybody. And, I miss just kind of having small talk conversation with strangers every now and then, that's totally taken off the table. It sucks.
Yeah. These days, when I take Teji for a walk around the neighborhood and I'm wearing the mask or I'm not wearing the mask, depending on how many people are out, I remember yesterday a couple walked by and they didn't have masks on and they were across the street and they just gave me a wave and a smile. And dude, oh, I didn't know how much I missed that. Just
Yeah.
a connection with strangers walking by. And then it made me think, what if we lose the ability to shake hands and hug each other when we first meet or when we say goodbye? That's kind of how we do, right? Like when I meet you, and even if I don't know you well, but if we vibe together and by the end of the lunch or the meeting, everything was cool, you know, you give a nice little, hey, it was nice to meet you. But now, do we no longer do that? I mean, are we going to go into this world like the airports with the security where this becomes our new normal? I don't like it. I don't think it's good for us. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it shouldn't last, right? We should go back to normal soon. I mean, we're not gonna, only give our thumbs up and how's it going finger.
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I think it's going to be a long time, and I think, like now that it's now almost required now to wear masks outside a lot of places. I think it's just going to be, I think the West is going to be like Asia. It's going to be where people are going to wear masks, and that's going to be kind of more of the norm, and also, like not able to shake hands, again, I mean, it could be bowing or like, the Vulcan sign or whatever. I don't know. I think it's going to take a long, long time for that to happen. I mean, it's funny, even like, because I constantly wash my hands. And when I do go outside to go shopping, go to the supermarket or something like that, I always bring hand sanitizer, and like I just feel so unclean. I just feel like I have this like feels like like Gesundheit. Like it feels like I don't want to touch anything just because like I want to keep my hands clean. So I'm just like maybe it's just we're becoming more and more germaphobes, I think, in nature, and I think that's that's going to be like that for a while, or maybe that's going to be the new norm.
Yeah,
I think there's an awareness of germs and everything like that, but hopefully we'll go back to some kind of normal. I think the really social people are going to be like, well, it's worth it for me to give a hug and be close, with people that I care about. But for people who are real germaphobes, maybe they'll never, they'll forever just be changed.
yeah. I didn't want to go into this because this was an extra topics question, but I think this is a good opening for a segue. This is the hard topic. I do feel like, with everything going on in the media today and the labeling and the negative connotation or the misdirection, the narrative that's being formed, do you feel like Asian Americans, Chinese Americans, do you think we're going backwards in terms of the social progress we made, in terms of acceptance and inclusion? Do you think Asians are gonna look? Are we gonna be dealing with racism and all this bullshit that comes with this? And that's the scariest thing, guys. Is like I wake up and with everything going on in the lockdown, I can deal with because we're all dealing with this together. But now there's this like pinpointing. It's like no, it's them, it's this, and what do we know? I don't know the facts. I don't know I don't know what really happened, where this came from, but it's a scary time, man. I feel like I'm walking on, landmines now, and I'm just at my house, and I haven't even gone outside, And then with all these things, with the mask, body language is so important as actors or as artists. We assess just by someone's, facial gestures and their body language. And when they're covered up, I have no gauge. And I wonder now, even basic customer service is if you're all covered up and then there's also this internal, question, like Asians are responsible for this, like how are we supposed to exist and come together? And this is something that I'm super scared about, and I don't want to talk about it in the garage, but I don't know, guys. I mean, how are you feeling about this? Do you feel like optimistic as a human race that this is just a bump and we're going to get over this? Or are there evil people out there that just want to separate us? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the point of this. I don't get, like, why are we now blaming somebody or something, right? Like, I don't get it. And now a racist is going to be responsible for this? What's the point of that? We're all suffering. It doesn't matter what race your people have lost. People are suffering. Look at us. Like, I'm not happy. Like, this Asian thing is like, what is this? It's like as a human race, we're all in this together, and it's scary that there's a part of the humanity that is making this into some negative, like, human war, and they're separating, and it's fucking frustrating, man. You know, I don't know, man. You guys got to drop some, some wisdom here or some positivity, because when I think about this,
here's what I think. I think racist people will always exist, and they will always look for an excuse to hate somebody for something. And so this will be a catalyst for some people who are already racist, who are already, bigoted in some way, to, justify their hate. But from my point of view, I think 99% of us are not like that. But it's that 1% of people that just really screw it up for everybody. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
I agree with you, Cory. I think for me, it's that most of the stuff I am hearing, like, however it's online or wherever, I see it on internet, it's not affecting me here in my home, because I live in a pretty good community that doesn't have that. So if you say that if it affects me as a knowledge that I know that it exists out there, and I don't know what to do about it in as I sit at home. But for myself, it's like a check and balance. Like, I actually have to know that there are racist people out there, and also there is, like, the comfort that I know that at least in my community that there's not, and the people I surround myself, they're not. So you have to find comfort in that, because then you can, that, they're the racism you see. I'm not sure where you witnessed it, if you witnessed it firsthand, but if you actually have, knowledge that you have friends like us or anyone else.
It's not even that, David. It's not, because we do live. Look, I'm not gonna get on a soapbox violin and say that my life is so hard because I'm Asian all of a sudden. Look, I'm like I get to live a life of privilege, and a lot of people just they invite me and shower me with love. So that's I know that I'm very blessed. But the point of this is that the fact that we even have to think it, that if there is a negative experience with someone, is it because of this? Like, how is this now part of, like, the daily thinking? I go, wait a second, I have to be extra careful. I have to walk on eggshells. Like, why? Well, I didn't do anything wrong, just because of the color of my skin. And this sounds completely ignorant and naive, right? And maybe a child speaking, but I don't get it. I don't get the racist motivation. I don't understand it. I don't understand why anybody want to separate races. It makes no sense to me. So
that goes back like hundreds of years, if you have to think about it. Yeah, I mean, explain that.
I don't want to go deep into politics, but it's like from the top down. It's like you have people in power who are saying calling this virus the Chinese virus, and it's also like empowering kind of these people to come out of the woodwork to be to justify their racism and their prejudice. Then that's just the climate now, and I think, and also again when it comes to Asian Americans, especially in what American in American society now. I think Asian Americans are always considered. I mean, no matter what, I think for a lot of people, non-Asians, Asians are the other. No matter if you're born and raised in the South, or born and raised, or you have you're from here, like 5 generations of Chinese living in like the Midwest or what have you. You're always going to be deemed the other to a lot of people, And I think it's like, and I feel like yeah, just like just in mainstream culture, I think it's just like Asians, or especially Asian Americans, are always like kind of monolithic, always deemed monolithic, which is actually very very diverse, and I think it's like. But I think it's like on the flip side, you see what's happening in China. You read reports of like Africans being just singled out because of some small rises of coronavirus happening, and Africans who are working and living in China are being especially mostly immigrant migrant workers are being targeted for being diseased, and like. Reports of like them being quarantined and being locked into their rooms, they can't even get out. So it's just like I think no matter what, if you're like that the majority will always kind of single out some and be and bring a scapegoat to to a minority group, right? No matter what. So I think it's like, yeah. So I mean, but I agree with you, Sung. Like I'm barely going outside, but when I do, it is kind of. I mean, in Hawaii, it's different because it's predominantly Asia Pacific, so I don't feel that. But
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who are going through that, and I've countless stories that I read on Facebook or Twitter of them, just like microaggressions, going to the supermarket, people like moving out of their way, or like it's just like thinking they're like almost like they're toxic or they're like diseased,
Yeah, and I even noticed that my natural cadence changed, or especially because you only see people's eyes like this, so they're you walk by them and they kind of look at you like this. So if this is what you're seeing, I register it as, oh, maybe there's suspicion because of my face, right? And
yeah.
and just that thought, and then I get in the car and I was going, my whole demeanor is apologetic. It's like, oh, I'm okay, I'm safe. Oh, excuse me, I'll avoid. And
or like you don't want to, or you don't want to cough or even clear your throat, in public either,
Yeah, if you have
the
to
media
sneeze, you have to
kinda
sneeze.
like-
You're just like, okay, I'm not going to sneeze right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what I love about, Cory, what you said, to just piggyback off of you, is I love the attitude and the spirit of this group, because I instantly this fear kind of settled down, just being able to talk about it. Because when you say 99% of the people are not like that, yeah, I'm going to lean towards that. I'm going to choose to believe that. And that's, at the end of the day, I go, well, what can we do? What can we do to make a difference? And how can we impact this and make sure this doesn't continue? And it's really, I think, talking about it. And at the end of it, I agree. 99% of the people are great people out there. And fear, people overcome it. And I think we'll go back on track. So thanks for that. Let's get back on course. So next is David. Where you at? How you doing?
Hey, and we're doing good still, maintaining our sanity, and that we are not, going crazy 5 weeks in of the lockdown. We're still having fun. We're trying to make things, much more pleasant per day. I mean, every day is kind of the same, but, maybe watch a different movie with my young one because he loves films. We just watched Mission Impossible, the first one. It's a little messy at the end, but it's still pretty fun. I think visually, I think it's great. So we had some fun watching.
Come on. There's no Tom Cruise movie that's a bad movie. There's better than some, but I think he's one of those actors that never.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Movie, right?
I agree totally.
Wait, Night and Day is good? I've never seen Night and Day.
Yeah.
Gal is in Night and Day. Gal Gadot is in Night and Day, right?
Yeah.
I like Night and Day.
What's wrong? I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
bad
I've
movie.
never
Not a bad
seen it,
movie.
so I was curious.
It's
Yeah.
I thought
not
it was-
Legend of Chung Li.
No, it's not. That's why. Exactly.
Tom Cruise
If
You
you're
know,
measuring it that way, yeah.
Legend
That's
of Chung Li,
what's-
and it would be a good
I mean,
movie.
Chun Li and Night and Day. I think
That's what a megastar is, like Tom Cruise is, that you go down the Rolodex, his filmography, he's never
What
going to
about
have
the
him.
Mummy? What about the Mummy?
Still, it's still watchable. If it was a rainy day on a Sunday, you're walking by the TV, Mummy's on. Are you going to switch the channel? Nah. I'm going to probably sit, watch Tom do his thing. And the special effects, whatever, all that, storyline, whatever. But it's Tom Cruise. It's not Legend of Chun-Li. What I'm saying is that Tom Cruise does not have a Legend of Chun-Li movie in his filmography. Like other actors. Like myself.
that's too bad.
You think? You think?
It would. I don't know. It would be really funny to see him like do some kind of like straight to video film. Although I think he has done one, but I don't think people have unearthed that.
He did? Which one?
What movie was that?
Is that there's one with Meryl Streep
What's
and Sundance Kid,
Robert Redford.
Robert Redford, and the
wait,
espionage
Lions
movie
for
that-
Lambs?
Lions for Lambs.
That's a great.
That's not a direct-to-video movie. That was a...
No,
Yeah,
I-
that was a
I-
theatrical
I never heard of it
release.
until I went to the video.
No.
Yeah,
That was
it's not the-
It's
touted.
theatrical.
Yeah,
That's a
that
great
was...
film.
Yeah. What are you
All
talking
right.
about, Dave? That's not it. How are
Anderson
you...
is going to crucify you, David.
Yeah, he
That's
plays the
fine, I
senator,
don't
right?
care.
He plays the-
That is not... That is not... That would not... At Blockbuster Video, that would not be in the same section as Chun-Li. Legend of Chun-Li. That is
Like
under
I said,
drama thriller.
Or
it's
like,
hard to
like,
reach
hard-
that echelon.
or like
that-
Hard Ticket
that-
to Hawaii
I mean-
or something. You know, those like Andy, whatever his name, movies from the 80s.
Who?
Or like Beastmaster. It's not like
Yeah.
Beastmaster or something. Or
Beastmaster.
Yeah. Beastmaster. What else was there? Like RoboCop 2, 3. The first one was okay.
This one's fantastic.
Like,
yeah,
I love
Three-
RoboCop. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
the
classic.
original. The
RoboCop 2
original.
is cool.
RoboCop
man, it's
2 is
like this
actually really
social
good, too.
commentary.
Yeah, but with PG-13.
RoboCop 2 is like... There's like... Tom Noonan is so good as Kane.
RoboCop 2.
and you got that like little kid drug dealer.
No, I did like RoboCop.
I know. It was written by
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller.
Yeah,
It was?
Frank
RoboCop
Miller.
1?
RoboCop
Frank
is
Miller.
Screenplay?
Yeah. That's
Oh, two.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
so who
Number
wrote
2.
1? Who wrote 1?
I think Verhoeven probably did.
No,
Yeah, I don't
Verhoeven
know.
just directed it, right?
Oh.
It was
No.
directed by Verhoeven.
Yeah.
I forgot who wrote it.
It was
It
what's
was
his
two
name?
people. Two people, I think. Two dudes.
So why did Frank Miller come in for the second one and not the first one?
Because he was hot, he was he did Dark Knight. He wrote and drew Dark Knight, the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And off from that, he became a sensation because, he did the 300 and, Sin City. So, giving him the rights to
If
write it. And it seemed like it totally felt cool because like it had like, it seems like it's so up his alley, like kid drug dealer and, and all the violence, but it just didn't work out. The magic was gone.
Yeah, I wonder why. Who
If I
directed
rem-
the second one?
Oh, Erwin Kershner.
Irvin Kershner?
Yeah,
Oh.
Empire Strikes Back. So director of Empire
What?
Strikes Back. Yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Up to, yeah.
Well,
Doesn't mean
actually,
do you think Robert Rodriguez got close to Frank Miller's like true vision in terms?
Oh yeah, for
Who-
the first Sin City
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
for Sin City,
Oh yeah, it's pretty good, pretty close.
if I remember correctly, Frank Miller's experience on RoboCop 2 is why he didn't work on any movies until 300. Or until Sin City. I remember he had a bad experience in RoboCop 2. He really didn't like what happened to his script.
I understand that. I can get
That's
I
what
get that.
happens to scripts, though. You write the script, and then the movie winds up totally different. You can't,
Well, that's
Yeah.
why writers want to move into TV because they have more, in
Yeah.
film. Directors are all powerful, and then in TV, it's really the writer showrunner.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's no doubt that the TV medium it's driven by the writers and not directors.
No, but
Yeah.
now you have directors now. I mean, who are moving to TV.
True. Now these days, yeah. I mean, like,
Stuff like that.
True Detective or Devs. Those are.
Garland directed all episodes, right?
Yeah, like Garland directed all the episodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like even The Nick with Steven Soderbergh.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
Never heard of it.
All right. Wait, hey,
Right.
Yeah, we gotta get. It's not your turn. All right, Anderson. Where you at?
Just like in Hawaii, it's just staying in, on occasion going out to get stuff, but just hanging tight, I think it's like fine, I mean, for the most part, my experience, just with family and stuff like that, and actually, there's one interesting story. There's some lady who I think she's obviously mentally unwell, but she apparently was on some reality show with 50 Cent, and then she's obsessed with 50 Cent, and then so she actually has a social media presence. So she just decided to live stream all her or on Instagram on one of her accounts. She's gonna move to Hawaii and just live on the beach, And then so people were freaking out. These locals in Hawaii are freaking out because she went through the airport. Because once you arrive to the airport, you have to go through 14-day quarantine. You have to find a location to stay there and stuff like that. So she's just totally bypassed all that shit. She was just live streaming on on Waimanalo Beach. That's where she was hanging out. And locals were following her online. She's doing a lot of Instagram lives. So they reported her to the cops, and the police came where she was hanging out in front of a 7-Eleven, and then they arrested her, and they're sending her back to the mainland.
Oh,
Wow.
what?
Yeah, some nonprofit, I don't know what it's called, but they're actually have the funds to actually bring. If you're flying into Hawaii, and you don't have a location where you're going to quarantine. Some people just are going to just hang out on the beach. They don't have any Airbnb or hotel or home. Yeah, this nonprofit will buy you a ticket, fund, and then send you back immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.